Welcome for the second part of the series. We're talking about the frogs now. Good and evil must have at least some resemblance to each other in order for us to have a true free choice between them. Hashem therefore created subtitle between holiness and klipa, which is why warmth and excitement can be found in the form of klipa, even though it is essentially a holy quality. So there has to be a freedom of choice in this world. So God made good things in cold and bad things in cold. God made good things in hot and bad things in hot. Everything has it could be a good or bad. So the good thing of cold is that you cool down on bad things. But if you cool down for godly things, that's a bad thing. And with hotness, you could be hot for Torah and mitzvahs, but you could also be hot for sexual things that are bad, for desires to kill, for desire, this crazy passion, for stuff that are absolutely wrong. People die because they fall in love with somebody. They could die from that. That's how passionate a person can become. It's something called love sickness. That's a hot thing, but it's also a bad thing. When a person doesn't control any of his will, he becomes completely crazy sometimes. The lesson we learn from all this is that if a person attempted to leave his own Mitzrayim, his own boundaries, right? As is required of him, he must make every effort to infuse his avodah with warmth, passion, and excitement. Additionally, he must remove any trace of coldness and empathy. A person may mistakenly think, as long as I'm not doing anything wrong, does it really matter if I'm not excited about serving Hashem? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing Torah, I'm doing mitzvahs, but I'm not passionate about anything. I'm not excited about God. I do the Torah because my father told me to do it. I put on tefillin, but I have no feeling whatsoever. Is that right? Can't be bothered. You don't like to say I can't be bothered.
Just do it anyway.
Just do it anyways.
I have a question.
What's the point of that?
How
Meaningless.
can a person put up the film, read the Torah, read what it says,
Because it became,
and not develop any feeling?
because it became a mechanism, became robotic. People go to work every day robotically. They have no feeling in what they do. Get up 7 o'clock,
Yeah,
they go to
but
work, they come to sleep, they go to sleep.
I realize that part, but I find it hard to
If a person's used to doing,
sink in.
this is how it is.
You actually read what it says.
Well, a lot of times people read, but they don't implement it into their mind. They could just read it, understand it, but they nothing. The next second they forget about it. It's like a Harry Potter book.
Yeah.
You're gonna remember the Harry Potter book tomorrow? No, it's over. So if they read the Torah like they read a Harry Potter book, so it has no meaning for them. If they read the Torah like it's a Torah, then it's gonna have a lot of meaning. But it depends on how you read it. You could read a whole book and not get anything out of the book.
True.
I've done it many times. As a
So
professional,
have I.
I'm professionally read books without understanding.
I just never thought of it that way. Okay.
You sort of understood it, but you had nothing came into your brain. Nothing went in. Came in one ear, came out the other. But you understood it when you read it, but you didn't. Nothing went in. You didn't take anything to implement. When I read a book properly, it takes me an hour a chapter. People say, "How can it take you an hour a chapter?" Because I actually read it. You just pretended to read it. You read the pages. But could you repeat everything you read? No.
Must have a photographic memory.
Okay, that's different. But they didn't implement it. They have it it's on a page in their mind. So if a person has to have some kind of excitement. Instead, he must recognize that if he does not develop an excitement for holy matters, he will eventually end up being involved in an excitement by matters of klipa. So if you're not excited by godliness, you're going to be excited by women that are wrong. Prostitution. You can be excited by bars. You can be excited by movies. Why? Because you don't have any other excitement for God. If you had excitement for God, you wouldn't need to have excitement for other things. There would be an excitement in your life. But your whole excitement is gone from Judaism. You get up from 9 to 5, you do the Judaism, and it's a joke because you never grow in it. You don't do extra things. You don't add things to your life. You don't grow in your Torah. You just do the Torah and get it over with. I gotta get it over with. Eventually, what do? You stop davening in the synagogue. Only Monday and Thursdays. Eventually, what do? You daven half a daven. Then you do one part of that. Then you just put on tefillin. Eventually, you're just like, Shabbos and kosher. I'm doing the minimum. I'm still Jewish. Eventually, you're like, why not just go with the shiksa? That's what happens. You need motivation. Like Shlomo said, he's going to go in college. He's going to do all these good things. Right, Shlomo? You do all these good things because he has motivation. Right, Shlomo? You have motivation? You have passion for what you want to do. When you have a passion for what you want to do, you do it. When you want to get married and you have a passion to get married, you will get married. But when you just say, I'm going on a date because I got to go on a date, You're never gonna get
You
married.
want to eventually get married.
No, you're going on the date for the sake of going on the date, and you're bored. You say, okay, I'll go. I have to. You know, just yikes sign. You go on the date and you're excited. I'm excited to go on the date. I want to get married. I have a passion to get married. You're gonna get married.
For the second, third date, they're like, oh, not him again.
Because you don't have a
Two
passion.
to tango.
Because you don't have a passion. You have to have a passion. For it.
I'm excited all the time now. I can't wait to the next
He has
one.
lots of passion. Take him with you.
You know, they used to have that back in the day. They'd have a motivator between the chassan and kala. Their first date, they'd have a motivator. Okay, what do you say? What do you say? Okay, I'm the motivator. Let me ask you 5 questions. Let me you ask 5 questions. Okay, now you could debate. Should I have like a debate?
Let me know how it works out.
Oh, you have like the papers in front of you. Okay, we have a person over here who wants to ask the kala a question. What do you think? What would you do in a situation where your husband is aggressive? And then she answers. Okay, audience, what do you think? Okay, Yiralev, what would you do? Ask you the same question. You know what I'm saying?
Something really can't answer that question because it's what is your definition of aggressive? It's all
So,
kinds
what
of
is your
aggression.
definition of aggressive? Is
There
that
are
a good
two
question?
There are two kinds of aggressiveness. There are some people who are too aggressive in a bad way. And they take somebody who just said something a little while ago. And then there are people who are aggressive, but it's in a good way. If the other person's shy, you have to initiate the conversation, so you're being aggressive. But if the other person gets to the point where they're too aggressive, where they don't give the other person a chance to speak or ask them their opinion, the only opinion he has is his way and no one else.
Yeah, you know? Can't be bothered.
I always let her wait, but I wait for her to give him the go light sometimes.
It really takes two. I mean, it's a give and take thing.
Okay, sure.
You know, somebody once told me there's only one thing worse than not being married, and that's being married to the wrong person.
Yep. Hopefully just the first one.
Michael Savage says, hell is a place where there's no sense.
That's right. Reminder is good.
You ever
I
heard
love that.
You ever heard that? There's no sense. When somebody has logic, sense, and this, you could talk to them. If there's just one way of thinking, and there's my way to highway, my way or this way. I get up, I go to sleep. I eat and poop. I sleep. I eat and poop. I sleep. I work. I sleep and poop. You become an animal. You become a mechanical mechanical with flesh and blood, a robot, and you have no reason to live. Why you live? So you could go tomorrow to work. That's not a reason to live. If you have a goal, you know, and you're gonna keep growing that goal, make a bigger goal and a bigger goal, and when you get to that goal, you get a bigger goal. You gotta make, when you pray to God, you gotta make goals. Today I'm gonna focus on this part of davening. Today I'm gonna think about this, you know. Tomorrow I'm gonna learn this extra, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna improve myself in part. If you're just gonna read the same thing again and again and again and never change and never get it better, one part of davening or understand one part better than the other part. And one day I'm saying I'm gonna go through the whole Baruch Shama. I'm gonna understand the Baruch Shama. I'm gonna feel the Baruch Shama. Tomorrow I'm gonna do Yishtabach with a lot of Kamana. After that, I'm gonna put on my tefillin for 5 more minutes. I want to get into it. You gotta change up and shake it up a little bit. You can't do the same boring thing for the rest of your life. You gotta one day, instead of taking the R train, you take the A train. You know what I'm saying? Trying to kill somebody? Back up your chair when somebody walks behind you. Back up the chair. I saw somebody back up the chair when somebody's behind you. You back up into them like somebody touched you. Ticklish.
Well done. Just a little.
Okay, this is precisely what the Yetzer tries to do to a Jew. What does he try to do? He tries to take away your excitement from godly matters, even miracles. He's like, yeah, miracle, big deal. Like there's a miracle. Yeah, you get bored after a while. Like you stop caring. The Yetzer tries to convince the person. There was people after the splitting of the sea that were like, split the sea, big deal. He can't. There's lightning and thunder on Har Sinai. We heard God's voice. Big deal.
I never read that part.
What?
About where some people didn't think it was a big deal.
There was the Erev Rav. They told right after they got the whole Bible and everything. They're like, let's worship idols. Like Moses, we want food. Like you just saw a big miracle. God did everything, and like Moses, where's the food? Moses, where's the water? They didn't believe.
But these were Sadukim? The people who didn't believe in the...
People who got cold. They just got they got used to the miracles. They got used to their life in the desert, and that's it. They're like, screw you. You guys, it's good to see. Big deal, you know. That's how people are. They get used to something. They get cold because they get used to it. They don't appreciate anything anymore in life. You know, they have no passion. They have no hotness.
No, but it's
They have
hard.
holy
It's
coldness.
like the Holocaust. It's like the same thing. But if someone sees miracles throughout these times, any of these scary times, and then they came out alive. If someone came out alive from all these scary times, they could be anyone, Jews, non-Jews, and then afterwards, there are many people that have said this as well. But it's sort of like if you say it like this, but it's not so easy. It's not
Yeah,
so
but a
easy
person says, listen, God does everything. We know God's the most powerful thing in the world.
It's
Yes,
not so easy.
so why do you have to get excited by miracles? God created the whole world. God's infinite. So who cares about miracles? Who cares about anything? Everything's God.
Yeah.
The whole world's God. So I don't got to do
like
nothing. You think God needs me?
a coincidence. It's
Yeah,
like a
you know,
coincidence.
no, everything's from God. So it's a miracle, okay? But everything's from God. So who cares? It's a miracle. What should that inspire me? God's everything. Even the miracles, God. So what I gotta do? Nothing. I don't gotta do nothing. The person says to himself. You know, why do I gotta pray extra? You know, God. You think God needs my prayers?
Oh, yeah.
God has the whole world. You think he's a little peachy little a worm, a little ant in a big ant pile? You think that God sees the difference? He doesn't understand that God is the infinite, but he loves every single person individually like an only son. The intention of the HR is to dampen the flames of excitement that a person has for godly matters, and to introduce a feeling of coldness towards the holiness, which is a source of impurity. Have a seat, relax. Yeah, move you back there.
Everybody, it's just me.
Yeah, give him a chair.
We were talking about you.
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it, wasn't you?
And if I did it, I didn't mean to. And if I meant to, I didn't want to. If I wanted to, I tried not to. On and on and on.
Philosopher.
So basically, we're talking about the coldness of Egypt and the hotness of Egypt.
I just got to use the bathroom
Yeah.
first.
Cold and hot.
Where's Rabbi Friedman?
Oh, that's Tuesday nights.
Huh?
That's on Tuesday nights. This is a Wednesday night share.
Now listen, I give a shiur, as he knows,
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock.
Tonight?
30. Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So if you would make your shiur a little half hour later, I could be more...
And that's right. I would have been here. I would have been listening to him.
Oh yeah, you were gonna go.
I wrote him texted him a message saying I was going to be here instead. I ran into you. So he was upset.
He was.
I guess so.
Oh, you went to him every week?
Oh, yeah. Even in Albuquerque, I have his phone number. He gives me a call, and then I have his number, and
I apologize for stealing his
No,
customers.
I enjoy it because I have a question I want to ask him about blood on the land. That I never heard that before.
Not everything you hear is true.
That's true too.
And not everything you didn't hear is true.
So that means I shouldn't believe you?
No, you should believe it, and you should take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. No. I'm the type of person, if I hear something, that
Everything could be right. Everything could be right. That's what you have to
That's true
understand.
too, but I'm the type of person, if I hear something that's different, I ask a whole bunch of people to get their opinion and see what they say, and then that's where I can draw my own conclusions.
It could be sometimes both things happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. But my point is, how come it doesn't say those things? That's where I want to know. That,
Because you're only reading Rashi and Chumash.
Yeah.
You're not reading. There's over 100 commentaries on every verse of the Torah.
okay, yeah, but
And Rashi is only explaining it on a general level. He doesn't explain in detail. He explains so you can understand the verse itself, but he doesn't explain the commentary. He's not really commentary, Rashi. There is much deeper commentary on every single verse.
Yeah, that's
Because
true too. You have to know where to go there.
every single verse has a spiritual meaning to it also. So sometimes you have to go deeper into the verse to realize that there's a whole spiritual message. The Torah is a code of law.
Yeah,
It's a code. Every single verse, every single word has a code behind it.
true.
It's trying to tell you something. It's not a history book. There is a history behind it. You can read the measures. That's the history lesson. So a lot of the things the Torah doesn't actually mention that happened because it's not a history book. I didn't know I stole your Balabatam. I apologize.
What?
I didn't know I took your Balabat. I forced him here. I didn't know he was going to you. I pulled him this way.
You know, the Abishter knows what he's doing. And
Oh, he has a question for you about the Pesach lamb. Ask him.
No, he mentioned before, in fact, I just read that the blood was in the Nile River. And then
What?
the blood during the plague was just in the Nile River. But he was saying that the blood was also on land. And I thought they dug holes to get fresh water so they could drink.
the blood,
Yeah, I can answer that. It says in the verse that the Nile River was full of blood, as well as on the earth, on the land, there was blood in the water turned to blood as well as on the land.
Well,
He's saying that the Rashi doesn't say that, or the Chumash doesn't say that. He says that people dug holes and they had water. That's what he's trying to say. That's his question.
the Chumash says that when they took the blood out of the river, and when it hit the ground, it turned either to whatever, water or blood, but it wasn't like the blood was all over the place. Just if they took out from the river and poured it on the ground, right there, right?
But his question is, didn't people dig holes on earth and get water?
To get water.
But what I told him, what I understood is that people had to buy water from the Jews in order to get water.
Yeah, I don't know if they were successful in getting water by digging holes.
Okay.
Rashi, the Chumash, the Rashi might say so. I don't remember what it said.
Well, it didn't say. They just mentioned different ways that they'll pay Jews for the water. If they didn't pay the Jews, then the water would turn into blood. They also mentioned the fact that they got blood underneath the ground too. I mean, water underneath the ground as well. That's how the Egyptians, the sorcerers, were able to turn the water into blood by digging off. They think they dug holes.
Oh, you came running.
Water, and from that water, they turn it to blood.
Okay, time to go.
Wait, one more verse. 1 second.
Hossein Yaakov is very knowledgeable.
I'm not.
He's modest. Now he's modest and.
So the Yetzer Hara, what does he try to do? He tries to make you cold. He tries to dampen the flames of godly matters and to introduce a feeling of coldness towards holiness, which is the source of impurity, the impurity of Egypt. This is why a person must remember that the first step in order to break out of his personal Mitzrayim is to develop a thing for holiness, emphasis and strength.
A what? Emphasis. Okay.
Symbolized by the first plague, the blood. The blood was holiness, passion. Shlomo, we need passion. Furthermore, we must develop a feeling of coldness towards mundane matters. Symbolized by the second plague, frogs. Frogs are cold-blooded. They live in the water. But at the same time, they are trying to cool down
Hello, how are you doing?
the pleasures of Egypt.
Sorry, what's up?
By following these 2 steps, a person frees himself from Mitzrayim. Shlomo, one more thing.
It's a girl.
Shlomo, you want to eat something?
Yeah, what do you got?
I'll bring some food.
Thank you very much. We'll catch you later.
Let me just finish the verse, okay? Quickly.
Alright.
The avodah of having warmth and excitement towards holiness falls under the category of aser tov, doing good. While the avodah of having a coldness towards worldly matters falls under the category of sur mirah, turning away from evil. The normal order of avodah is to first turn away from evil before doing good. Just as a king who wishes to renovate his palace must remove all the unwanted materials before he builds a new. Donald Trump just moved into the White House. They had to remove everything that he wouldn't want from the White House before he moved in. This rule, however, only applies when the avodah categorized from below, which is the intention by the person himself. When the avodah originates from above, when it is initiated by the revelation from Hashem, and the order is reversed. This is because the revelation itself achieves the same effect as the avodah of sur mirah, staying away from bad, and the person can thereby begin with aser tov. Therefore, because the plagues in Mitzrayim resulted from godly revelation, from above to below, the avodah of aser tov, the plague, aser tov, the plague of blood came first before the avodah of sur mirah, the plagues of fraud. So a person has to realize, what am I doing in this world? And he has to realize first, he has to stay away from cold things. And he has to have warmth towards godliness. Because the coldness comes and says, I'm God. Pleasure is God. And then you have to stay away from bad. But first, you have to connect with God. Then after you connect with God, other things can happen. You could stop.